Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it. But it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down. The 20.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
First play and a first pass for Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a game of 35. We know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up right there. They're pounding knockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Vikings at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They thought they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 12 more yards there and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Cousins. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now gone. He'll get this one to Galladay. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Nuwanger now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, that hasn't been a fan of the first half with the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. First carry now for David Montgomery. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibbs, and he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now Goff taps this forward. That's a jet sweep. These two teams all tied after one.
With the score tied 7-7.
Montgomery is in for a Lions touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Cousins. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
After the interception, here's Goff. And this one too low.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now it's gone. Pass caught. It's Galladay on the out route. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
On 1st down, Gibbs. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. David Montgomery, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Vikings 7. Riley Patterson, the kickoff for the Lions.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Cousins gives way to Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one way out just shy of the 45-yard line. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Cook again. And he's got room. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 43 yards rushing now. 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off. This quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings have come back with a score. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 38, Goff. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Dean Lowry, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down. Here's Goff. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Goff. Open man right side is St. Brown. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up the 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Patterson's kick is good. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And some room to maneuver. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Goff. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield. And
got a man, it's caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. They'll run with Montgomery. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the line. 40 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range. Second and goal from the 1. Once more, Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Riley Patterson to kick off for the Lions.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They go play action. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6. Play fake. Cousins.
Second and 6.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Having someone like T.J. Hockenson as your starting tight end makes you feel good as an organization because he finds ways to get open and gives his quarterback a reliable safety net over the middle or even to the edges. Case in point there, that play for a first down.
And a third interception thrown by Cousins. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Vikings 13. Riley Patterson to kick off for the Lions.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think of
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today? Picked off by Cameron Sutton. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They'll run on first down. It's Gibbs, and he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Goff now looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all the coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll have it past midfield, close to the 40, before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27. So the ball moves into Lion territory now, and here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Cousins to throw it. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Cook makes the catch on the out route. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Trying the power game with Ham. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. C.J. Ham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
When it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
This is caught inside the 15. And in for the Lions touchdown. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is a chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Nwangu now from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try. Cook, they'll try and run it. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On 2nd down, it's Gibbs. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Back to throw, Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's at the 40, the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Gibbs. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
A loss of 2 yards, and it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Running for it, Montgomery. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped right away. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Kirby Joseph, and the Lions are going to take over at their own 41. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Gibbs, and he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Still about 3